watching, but there's a whole crew, and the government got that thing fixed up where it showed like 5 people, so it's not no 5 people seen it, because of the way the people are responding. It's a lot of people, I don't know whether it's hundreds of thousands, but I could tell what flows in my direction from what I said here. And whether it came out on that one or that one. See, if it comes back right away, it came from this one, right? We don't do that. We do those sometimes in a few days or a week. We get it, right? We know what we're doing. Look, we have become experts at tomfoolery and stuff like that. Why? Because they're going to try to take us out from Arkansas, the Bayous to Coon. They never expected the system, when they started their oppression of us, that anyone would really escape that oppression and then become a Muslim, a true Muslim, right? J. Edgar Hoover said it would be as hard for the Negro to practice true Islam as it would be to put pants on an elephant. Yeah, they can practice black man is God, white man is the devil. They can do that. But they can't practice no true Islam. They're not made for it. Can you imagine the arrogance? And here we are, not only in it, but we have advanced. We have advanced beyond the people around us. Not in just ill, blah, 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 but in ill blended with amal. Knowledge blended with practice. So if we have junior high school knowledge of Islam, and they have university knowledge of Islam, but we practice the junior high school knowledge, and they practice first grade knowledge. They know the PhD knowledge of Islam, right? Sharia, but they don't do none of it. So who's the baddest? We're the baddest. Why? Because if you practice 6th grade Islam, you're a gorilla. Yeah, if you practice, the hadith says yes.
They solve none of their problems in life using Islam. None of them.
They don't even act. So, I'm trying to stay focused here. One of the ways, see, they not only never thought we was going to get hooked up in Islam, but they never thought we would survive the cuts. You know, where you go for a team, they got cuts. And then, as you go along, they'll change the rules on you, you know what I mean?
All the time.
They change the rules, and they ain't cut us for nothing when they do. So, Paul, they cuts, they put us where we are anyway. We don't want to be with them. We don't want to be in their punk house. They got a whole lot of, just like we said in Juma before, yeah, you can't come over here with us. I said, all the punks and sisters, I don't want to be over there with y'all. You know, like there's 1,500, but there's 1,500 people at not an Eid, but iftar 3 years ago. We didn't even know. Everybody was there. I saw all of the punks was there. They weren't doing nothing but stuffing food down their mouth. The Taraweeh prayer was so low you couldn't see the end. So I didn't want to pray with them. I'm not going to stand there for no 2 or 3 hours, getting tired and forgetting while I'm there. Mad, you know, hey man, Because the guy leading it is a bum, and he don't do nothing but recite. And the white man come and he break out running, break his prayer. He don't even salam out, he break his run in the back. I don't want to be with them. Okay. So we have to describe the magnitude of the counteroffensive against the triangle of terror. How big is this thing? Well, how big it is who are you fighting? That'll tell you how big it is. Are you really, is this real? You have to ask yourself that. Is this real? Are all the things that we say real? Okay, that's why we keep not only notes, we keep all the paperwork. Yes, it's real. They do that. Everything we said they did that. Everything that they did, we survived it and thrived on it, and we kept our composure. And we kept moving in our direction. Just like yesterday, when I was telling you, you can look at, you can still see a little bit, but you can see the little rash. It's because I knew when they say something, right, and I challenge it, it's mainly for big conferences. The worst time it hit was in Iran when I'm talking street prayers here. No, street prayers here. The Negro woman is right here, and the street prayer is right here, and I'm in the middle. We're at a big conference university. And what I'm doing is showing them up. So all of a sudden, my big super itch come down on me, and I just kept right there, and it's good training. I'd already had training in it. I hadn't had it happen many times before. And it makes you say, I'm sticking right here. I'm not going to sit here and start hollering and getting uncomfortable and hurry and hope the program hurry up and finish. It trains you. You talk about toughening you up. It ain't nothing new with me. Roosevelt was in a wheelchair. He had to do certain things that calls for a lot of discipline. If he can do it, I can do it. Right? So the things that they shoot at you, you turn them on, you use them for big discipline. And you expect it. So yesterday, when them questions, they got to remember they said the questions, I didn't go into the answer directly what they said. And I was talking very firm, but very nice and disciplined. And they was looking stupid. So they pushed the button. We got to quiet this, get this nigga out of here. I said, okay. I said, I'll see you next week. And they can tell because they know what they've done. So I said, no, we ain't going nowhere. We're going to stay here all the time to teach you a lesson, sissy. Did everything y'all done did to us. Now we're getting ready to go to California. They know what Oakland means. I can tell you why they know very well. Sherman Jackson and Hamza Yusuf spoke at one of the ISNA programs a few years back because Abdul-Haq and I went over there. And the Bay Area has some beautiful hills surrounding the Bay Area. And they know I love those hills, especially on our side of the bay. On our side of the bay, it's one of them old Spanish land. This is an old regional park. That's a real regional, just like you see coyotes right outside of this, right up in the hilly part of the city. You got wild animals and everything. There's a dam up there. In fact, there's 2 dams up there. And it's really the way the country was centuries ago. And I've been going up there over 50 years. And you know, like you might have seen movies or read books like Homes from the Hills, or you might have seen a Western or some of these old white folks looking over their valley from a horse, and they gained strength from that. Or when they was in a big trial or tribulation, they remembered their valley, big valley in Stockton. Right. For people that live next to a big mountain, sometimes they walk that mountain. They develop, a farmer develops a real attachment. When he run his hands through the soil the old time, people, they felt a connection with God. And you're talking about a real believer in God. When they plant it, they know they praying and they serious. God sent enough rain. Oh Lord, not too much rain. Don't drown it. This is a balance, and they know you get good years, you get bad years, and you're grateful. They have an attachment with that. Okay, they know that, okay, if I'm going to the hills, that I'm going to increase, which I don't technically need right now, but physical discipline, because I'm going to run the hills every day. I don't have to do it like here. It's not too much fun. It's okay. But those are real hills. And you out in the real forest. And they knew from years ago, in radio programs, they got the snitches next to their center, because they would run with us. What do you think about the creation? And I would say, well, we go out every morning. And every time you go out and the rain comes down and you see those streams flowing and you see the foam rise up to the top, right? I said, this is all Quranic. I said, when you're in Allah's creation, so they know that you countrified. You have a relationship, not only from the bayous and all of that stuff, but to nature.
Connection to the universe.
Connection. They know, actually, I like forestry camp, helping keep the forest straight, It was fine with me. I didn't pay 50 cents a day, all that money. And get to work in the forest too. 8 hours a day, can't slave labor. It's okay. But anyway, what I'm talking about is this. Hamza says, oh, I love to gain strength from those hills in our area. I haven't even heard of Hamza in the hills. He looks out there and sees me, and they done talked about it in detail. I know they done all talk about it. When you see him, remember when we was down there and you saw Mellow Yellow, you say, something's going on upstairs. And when you see it, wherever you see him, something is clicking. They can't hide it. That's what we're doing. And it ain't them, it's everybody. From the tallest and the highest ambassadors to the workers, everybody is up on, everybody is in on what we're doing. We're going to do a good job. See, this is our time. This is we are doing a good job, but we're going to get better. We're going to perfect what we're doing. And when people study the period of our life, they're going to hear it from us. They're going to hear it from us.
When you talk about the group, you always show us that thing back there.
Right.
That's because you allowed yourself to be marginalized.
Of course.
And black people, to this day, that's the problem. They allow themselves to be marginalized, and they don't tap into the great history that they have. And because of that, that's why you feel the way you do. You can't let somebody tell your story. You're not supposed to ever do that. Nobody does that.
Okay. All of them most of them know us personally, and they know what we do. Okay? If they will come into some sincere conclusion, Siraj would say, hey man, you ought to have, they had the council of imams meet, and they said there's 30 imams. Hey man, you bring Musa in, he'd clarify this whole thing for you. He's been working on it 40 years, 35 years that I know. I'm the one who replaced him on the circuit. And all the old timers know it. It ain't nothing. Fareed them know it, all of it. All the people who's from, they know all of this. If they were serious, right, then they would, when you get serious, you start trying to reform and move in the correct way, right? If you're serious. If you just jiving, you're just putting that out. For some reason, I don't know, technically I don't care. Because we're not designing our challenge based on what they do. Like if the people, whatever the people do in California, we already got our planned move. We're going to do, with Allah's help, what we're going to do. They don't have nothing to do with it. They can give us, if we sue for $40 million, they can give it to us, or they can keep it. It's not going to determine what we're going to do. If they don't give it to us, we fundraised before in worse conditions, right? We'll fundraise again, but the fundraising will be educational. We use the fundraiser as part of the war effort to educate. When the summer comes in South Africa, I'm already planning to go there. The summer is opposite, so the summer is another couple of months, a few months. We'll go over there for a while. And we can stay as long as we want. We can leave when we want. We can do what we want to do. We told them years ago we'll go to Australia. We can if we want. We don't have to. They speak English in Australia. We can do what we want. They're not going to determine, they haven't, now you got to remember, they have not determined what we do, and they got everything on their side. Can you imagine when we're fighting back? And this is not the first cycle. This is probably the 10th cycle. I don't know how many cycles. We had them in Jahiliyyah. We have them in the Deen. We will explain to them all of these people that we know. They talk about they want to be famous in California. They better put their famous, they're going to have sunglasses on and slipping around, hiding Mukhtar and Khadijah and Abdul-Malik. Why? This is the warm-up for the story. This is just the warm-up. This is to get it out. This is the emergency. This is exactly what we told them what we was going to do. This is the grand jury. The grand jury is not the trial. Grand jury is where you go get the indictment. The grand jury is where you tell the story. Now, when we started, they can tell any story, they can tell any of the stuff, but we done got these dummies to commit. They say, well, we say, we let them say it, let them say it. Then we just give. We didn't give them a 5% response. That's all we've given. Every time they open their mouth, we're going to stuff, by fact checking, we're going to stuff fact, date, time down their mouth. And the more they try to defend it, and the more they attack, we're going to stuff facts. Stuff the truth right back down their throat. As soon as I feel it's coming out of their mouth, I'm going to catch it, it's going to come out like this, I'm going to shove it right back down their throat. Yeah. That's what we got. They're fighting on our territory now. We're going to tell the story. You're not going to embarrass black people and have to suffer like our people have suffered in this country and then they get some reprieve and come to Islam, and for no reason you just flood Islam with dogs and bums and investigators and destroy the people's life-saving gift for nothing. And they don't even know. They done got, do you think the Muslims, those Negro Muslims walking up and down the street now, they go over across the street there. I look at them, because there's a lot of them around now, you see. I said, oh, man. What about the Islamic movement?
They have no clue.
They don't have no clue about nothing.
Nothing.
And Muhafiz that was here learning all the stuff, he's over there making sure they don't learn nothing. Then sent a few people by here that act like we really like you. I said, that's good. You just on the Titanic, that's all. You're a nice guy with your little beard. We can't save everybody, but go on back over there to the Titanic. Go on back over there. You know? You don't have nothing to do with, we're not going to change our program because they got billions of people teaching prayer. They ain't got nobody teaching challenge, struggle, evolution. And that's the problem that those Abdul-Maliks and all the people around here, they don't study you as a growing, evolving, evolutionary being. They study you as a static person. That's the way that person is. If we do this, then that's gonna. Well, every time they do that, right here. I remember when we was talking on the phone a lot in California about 3 and 4 years ago, that period. And I would say all the time, they attacked right here. The only thing is I moved over there already.
Don't need no basic boxing skills.
Right, okay, they're gonna fire off at that spot. That's where I was when they did their research. But an evolving, growing, developing human being, right, is not there. When you fire all them volleys, we gonna make them mad, we gonna do this, we gonna take property. You can't take nothing from, in guerrilla warfare. If we got, let's say, 8 pieces of property there, which is not quite 8, but it's a lot, and 8 here. If we had 1 left, we would be above the revolution. The revolutionary ideal is if you lose 90% of your base area, 90% of your people, I go even farther than that. If there's 1 person left with the hawk, they can restart the whole, they can rebuild. These dummies used all of that energy and all that publicity. We're going to take, can you imagine? I can't conceive of what Mukhtar and Khadijah, they're going to take our property. We taking this masjid. Oh, that's new. Not that in Jahiliyyah, that's the first thing you can defend against. You know, gangster, oh, you niggas gonna take something? Sure, come on in. Then you surround them and blow them away. You can't do that. You can't go to another gangster and say, yeah, we taking this is your spot here, from 1st Avenue to the 105th, that's yours, we taking that. That's ridiculous. That's what they did. They did that. Judge, I got a flyer they made that the Masjid in Oakland is under new management. Not that they can spell or anything like that. Mukhtar put out one flyer. He said, Imam Musa is arrogance. And you should see how he treat his subjects. I said, these niggas are so crazy. I got to think, I'm arrogant, but they calling themselves subjects. I'm the king, and the niggas are subjects. And that's a flyer. He put the flyer. I ain't said the word. I ain't said a word. I got the flyers now, all of them. I'm gonna, when we get ready, we'll put out the flyers. I put out a few long distance. We're telling, no, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. See, if you were an angry person, you would kill him. You would kill him, they would be dead. You would have to kill him. That's what they wanted. But remember, and we're living proof that we have remained true to our kindness, to our optimism, and to our humor. Okay, in the struggle, whether it's political, whether it's Marxist communism, whether it's democracy, a guy comes in, he wants to go to Congress and he really wants to help his neighborhood. Or he's the mayor and he wants to help. But as he begins to seek votes, he has to readjust himself to win over the people that have money to give him the support. And the higher he goes up the ladder, the more control he gets. And by the time he's the governor of the state, he has no more optimism at all of helping the people, because the game has shaped him. He didn't shape the game. That's the difference. We shape the game. The game has they can throw all the rules of their game and everything at us. It doesn't have any effect. We are not mad. We are not going to kill you. You're going to pass away probably reasonably soon. But we ain't going to do it. You probably die of fright. The people try to pretend like you tough. And the people tell me about them coons out there. I said, man, they were at the malls, and so we drove up, said, boom, them niggas jumped all around, was reaching in their pocket, scared to death. They try to call me talking tough. I don't have to, I already know you know what I mean? Hey man, they are scared to death. But they did it themselves. But I told them, we're going to help you. Why are we going to help them? Because they've been doing that throughout history. They just don't know it. They don't know it. If you're more knowledgeable, you have to treat the people a certain way. So that's what we do. That's why we're going to tell our story. How effective are we? Well, the other people is having psychological trauma just around here. We have all of our so-called friends around the world controlled by somebody, and they backed up. We don't have none of their support. Yet we've supported them totally with our lives on the line, everything. For the cause. We don't call them and say, yeah, man, y'all Joe Cole. I said, no, I said, no. You got it, keep it. You got it, keep it. Yeah. See, they're new at this too. They're just because they're in politics and getting up there, they're like equanities, evolving behind the curve. And they sit there and they monitor us all the time. And they listen to what we say. They do. I can read, I can look at Press TV. There's 2 calls on the thing today about, 98 something that's from Iran. I ain't even answering. Forget it. Y'all want to play around? You keep it. You keep it. You got to pay attention to what we say, because we've been serious about it. We have been good. That's all. We have been good. You haven't. But God got you in pocket. You can't get away from you know, they want to do one thing, and the old euro just keep them right in line. Because we've told them, hey, we got homeboy covered. Now, you help us out, and we'll build the whole structure. Okay, if you don't want to help, forget it. I know they've been the same way all along, some of them, the politicians. When I come here to help stabilize, because the people was running away with them. You know, I mean, you can imagine what was going on here. So I said, yeah, I'm going to build open a Masjid. So y'all can help if you want. They said, well, we're having a project and we're deliberating. We have the Washington Post of the New York Times at that time. You know, they had them center pages advertisements. We want to put Imam Khomeini on it. It's going to cost $49,000 at that time. Or we can give the money to you. And we're deliberating. I said, if you think that you're going to put Imam's picture on paper and anybody's going to pay any attention to that, $49,000. This thing, remember when we was over there, this is years later, at the joint over there, Dar Hidra, and they wanted to put a centerfold. Remember by then it was $74,000. I said, shoot, we'll get $1,000 worth of flyers and get a 2 house full of niggas with shoes on. And y'all give us $10,000, Yahamakallah, we'll have these from Baltimore to Richmond in everybody's hand. Every time they come out the office, they have, that won't cost you but 10 grand and $2,000 for the flyers. No, we're busy right now. You gotta hurry, yeah, you can just a quick prayer there. You can't have no, it's all right. You ain't got no pipe in that thing, I know. Okay, that's all right, please. Everybody's fine. Our experience should be studied by other interested Muslims, social activists, and then I have here referred to that July 28th article. See, we are already where to go to get what's happening on anything. Okay, we're already studied, but we mean study to implement. Now, in this case, going backwards is going forward. To go to the new horizons, to go to the new frontier, we have to teach and train the people, and part of going to the new frontier is teaching them about their environment and how to act in it. And therefore, since we've confronted it on all levels, we're the only ones that know how to deal with it, evidently, because everybody else said they have psychological trouble. And they don't make it. And look at what they do. When they want to, see, the people got to know. Remember the Women's March? That woman, South. It's one of the biggest marches in U.S. history. She's just sitting on the internet and decided to, and all those people come. My black ass, they came. Right? Tell the truth.